Hi everybody, so we're going to talk about the driving test, and in England and Wales I've got a date for resuming. If you don't know it, it's the 22nd of April. That's providing that everything goes well in the next few weeks. And Scotland, that's to be confirmed. Now on the driving tests, it's a bit like prior to the last lockdown. There's quite a few things you need to know. So face coverings, they're still asking for you to wear face coverings. The examiner's going to wear face coverings. They might even wear gloves. So don't be surprised. If you're exempt from face coverings, hopefully you've declared it when you're booking your driving test. If you haven't, then you really need to get in contact with the DVSA and tell them that you've got an exemption because of an illness or a disability. Now, wearing glasses is not an exemption. All the DVSA said is if you're wearing glasses like I do, then you've got to get used to it. So start practicing it on your driving lessons. And there's certain things you can do. You know, I spoke to people and they say they tuck them under the glasses and that helps, or the double mask them, that helps. And there's an Antifog one. I'll put a link in the description if you want to look at that one. There's Antifog that you can spray on. I've never tried it, but I'm just coming up with ideas that might help you for on your driving test. But try these things in advance. Don't just wait for the day of the test. Just try them, trial and error. Okay. You're going to expect your windows to be down, so halfway is probably going to be down. I've got wind deflectors or rain deflectors on the side of my front ones. So yeah, windows, one on each side. It can be the two front ones, the two back ones are alternate. As long as one on each side, that's what you've got to make sure the windows are halfway down, or at least talking about 4 or 5 inches. And like I say, the inside of the car has got to be clean. So make sure any rubbish in the side pockets on the passenger side are put away. All right. I'm sure if you got your instructor's car, that'll all be sorted. But if you're going to go in your own car, make sure that's the case. Make sure the dashboard's clean. Make sure the seat's clean. Make sure your windscreen's clean. Okay. And obviously with the car, just make sure the car's in good working order. And the driving test is exactly the same. It's going to last 40 minutes. And they're going to say to you, I mean, it says on the email, don't arrive until at least 5 minutes before. Don't arrive 10 minutes before because you're going to be in the way of the previous test. So 5 minutes before the test, you should be going to the test centre. Now, bear in mind, some test centres can get busy. And I know where I go in Bletchley, Milton Keynes, you can be waiting outside near the test centre, and then you're about to go in, and 4 or 5 cars get in before you. And it just takes that one person at the front who takes forever to reverse into a parking space. And in the end, I say to my student, just go in and I'll park the car for you, because that 5 minutes is just gone. That person at front's taking 5 minutes to park the car, and everyone behind them is thinking, come on, get on with it. So it does say 5 minutes before the driving test, but if you're at the back of a queue and 4 or 5 cars are in front of you and you're thinking my test is in 2 minutes, then you really need to be, the person beside you needs to get in the driver's car, in the driver's seat, and you go in the test centre and actually see the examiner. Now, talking about driving test centres, a lot of them are shut, but they're open if you ask to go to the toilet, so they'll actually open so you can go to the toilet, but a lot of them are shut at the moment, and there are talk about reopening a few of them. I suppose it all depends on the facilities in that area, but at the moment, as far as I can gather, lots of them are shut, so expect to be still outside. And the other thing also to remember is when you're driving your driving test now, it's 40 minutes. If you make a serious error, the examiner's going to direct you back to test centre and you'll be finished pretty quickly, because they don't want to sit in the car with you and you don't want to sit in the car with them. If you know you failed, all right, now bear in mind, it says if you think you failed, then you're not going back to test centre because you haven't. So don't start thinking, oh God, I failed for that. Just concentrate on your driving. But the first 5 minutes are so important. There's a video below on the first 5 minutes of your driving test. So watch that video. It's going to help you to concentrate. But yeah, so if you get serious or dangerous on the driving test in the first so many minutes, or even 20 minutes in the test or half an hour in the test, they're going to start directing you back, because they want to cut the test short. So it's in your interest to stay focused and keep things under wraps, especially, as I say, in the first 5 minutes, because the nerves jangle. Okay, make sure you've got your theory test certificate. Make sure you've got your driving test certificate, theory test certificate. Hopefully, you get your driving test certificate at the end. So theory test certificate bring along, and driving license you need to bring along. And the reason why is because on the last lockdown, when it ended, the examiners were asking for theory test certificates because the theory test on some people were expiring. Now, the theory test has not been extended, so if your date is expired after 2 years, it means you've got to retake your theory. So don't go in there thinking, well, it's not my fault, it's expired, I was on lockdown. If it's expired, which means you should be turning up at your driving test with a new theory test certificate. So if you haven't got that, get it booked in, get it passed. Or you've got show me and tell me questions. So they'll ask you one where you're telling me the answer at the beginning, and then when you're on the driving test, they'll ask you to show them something, whether it be show me how to open and close the front window on the driver's side, or another question they might ask you. So they'll ask you one question and one question on the driving test while you're driving around. So be prepared for them. Now also on the driving test, you're going to get 4 or 5 times to be pulled over and to move off. They're checking that you do things safely. You're going to be asked to do one manoeuvre. It could be right at the beginning, it could be in the test centre, do a reverse bay park, it could be outside the test centre within the first few minutes, it could be at the end of the test where they ask you to do a manoeuvre. So you need to know your manoeuvres. There's 4 of them. There's reverse bay park, forward bay park, parallel park, and park on the right. And just so you know what also could happen, know the turn in the road or the left reverse. Them ones your instructor should be showing you, because you need to be able to do them after you pass your test. And just say you go down a road and ahead of you there's an accident and the road's blocked, it's closed, and everyone's doing U-turns. The examiner's going to turn around to you and say, can you just turn the car around please, do a turn in the road? So they'll pull you over and then they'll ask you to do a turn in the road. So 3-point turn, isn't it? So know the 3-point turn. It's not an hard one, it's an easy one, but if you've never been shown it, you'll be thinking, oh, what do I do? Start panicking and you lose your focus. So know these things. If you've never shown one, watch the videos, and then you'll be fine. Then ask your instructor when you meet up. Good luck on the driving test, and I'm hoping this helps you. If it does, fantastic. Safe driving, and put a comment below on what you think of the video, what you want to see in the next few weeks on videos. Take care, and if you've got your test, good luck.